Oh, hi there. My name is Daryl, and I am here with Carlo to help you understand the basics of knowledge science. So, take a seat, relax, and enjoy learning. Before we delve into knowledge science, Carlo and I agree that it is best to isolate these terms first as a sort of recap so that we have a better chance of understanding the concept as a whole. Rooted in the Latin word scientia, science initially referred to knowledge, expertise, or experience. What was once considered a field of study in the 14th century has evolved into something more, a shared body of knowledge. Now, it is a socially engaged endeavor in which people gather, organize, and disseminate knowledge based on evidence. The Science Council supports this definition and even emphasizes it in a 2009 statement, stating that science is a discipline that is in charge of knowledge acquisition and application because of its systematic methodology, which is backed by empirical data. Seems pretty good, doesn't it? What about knowledge, though? Why don't you tell us a little bit about it, Carlo?
Sure thing. So, knowledge is defined in the Merriam-Webster dictionary as the condition of knowing something with familiarity acquired through experience or association. According to Dr. Floor, it is attained when an individual can effectively process and comprehend information. It is through knowledge that individuals can engage with more complex concepts based on the information they currently have. There are two kinds of knowledge that are relevant to our discussion today: explicit and tacit knowledge. Explicit knowledge pertains to information that is easily expressible, shareable, and recordable through various mediums. This knowledge can be found in tangible or digital forms like manuals, research papers, reports, and journals, facilitating its dissemination and retrieval. It is noteworthy for its objectivity, systematic organization, technical nature, clarity, and accessibility. Tacit or implicit knowledge represents the information that is harder to transfer. It is subjective, cognitive, and experiential in nature. These are pieces of information gathered through experiences or even incidental learning, which makes it difficult to document. But they are essential to significantly enhance innovation, communication, and coordination. Now that we know the definitions of knowledge and science, Daryl, what is knowledge science?
Well, the simplest way to understand it is to consider how we define both terms separately. Knowledge pertains to the familiarity acquired through experience or association, enabling individuals to process and comprehend information, whereas science is a collaborative effort where individuals explore, organize, and share knowledge based on evidence. But what really sets it apart is how these two concepts can be combined to create what is known as knowledge science, which allows people to share their knowledge by providing information that is supported by evidence so that others, including the creators themselves, can learn and gain new knowledge, thus establishing a cycle in which novel viewpoints are revealed by means of both new and existing knowledge. So, yeah, maybe it's time now to give its definition as one whole piece. Knowledge science is an interdisciplinary field that develops methodologies and techniques for the management of knowledge and technology. Furthermore, Ahmed explains that because a link between objects and actions must be formed in order to achieve a modular body of knowledge, knowledge science can be viewed as object and action dependent. He went on to say that manipulating actions, objects, and relationship formats can all alter how knowledge is organized. Its primary objective is to establish a society based on knowledge, and it frequently engages in problem-oriented research in fields like social innovation. Now, it is one thing to combine and define it. It is another to try to figure out how the two terms relate to knowledge science as a whole. So, Carlo, how about we take a closer look at that?
Okay, so knowledge science, the science of knowledge. One would think that the relationship would center on research, and they'd be right. We could take any knowledge we currently have and produce something new with it. There are actually multiple fields associated with knowledge science. We have knowledge engineering, wherein an expert passes their knowledge to an artificial intelligence. We also have knowledge discovery, wherein they derive from large-scale data related to the domain knowledge. We have knowledge construction, wherein they simulate complex phenomena, integrating hypotheses and meanings integrated from domain knowledge. And then we have knowledge management. What it does is that it modifies tacit and explicit information, organizing it, storing it, systematically keeping a record of what information we already have. It is taking already existing information and making it more valuable through organization. It is not a new concept either. It's been related to policy making back in a paper in 1974 by Nicholas Henry. It's also used a lot in organizational planning.
Not only that, knowledge management would eventually have its own theoretical framework thanks to Thomas Davenport and Larry Prusak. Specifically, Davenport's critique regarding the economic viability of depending solely on technology persuaded them to assess various knowledge management approaches in order to fully realize their potential. In addition, the two stressed the need to distinguish between knowledge, data, and information because these terms have already been defined quite differently from one another. Using these terms interchangeably could lead to issues because certain organizational flaws might go unnoticed. Nevertheless, what does it mean in the context of knowledge management for development, or KM4D? Firstly, there is a lot of truth to the saying, knowledge is power. According to Ferreira, its capability is essential for creating an atmosphere that supports innovation and increases its likelihood of success. Put simply, it plays an indisputably important role in knowledge sharing because, well, in the end, it improves how people learn and manage the knowledge and expertise they have acquired through collaborative networks, which, in the grand scheme of things, makes it an essential tool for societal advancement. Finally, it is critical to highlight the existence of a varied multi-stakeholder process, which includes communities of practice, partnerships, roundtables, and many more. According to a 2018 analysis by Boyce, these components are crucial for the creation of unique and effective plans for resource extraction, trade, and institutional governance, all of which advance the objective of attaining societal advancement. KM4D underscores the nuanced nature of knowledge, prioritizing its contextual specificity and nonlinear attributes over a universal approach. This nuanced strategy enhances both resilience and adaptability concurrently.
So, to wrap it all up, we talked about handling knowledge as a science, taking information that we currently have and utilizing it to generate or produce new knowledge or information. We also looked into one of its fields, knowledge management, treating knowledge as a resource, something that has to be managed and organized well in order to fully take advantage of its utility. The information becomes more valuable because of it. Thank you so much for listening to our discussion. Hopefully you, our listeners, have gained knowledge from this. I'm Carlo, and together with Daryl, as well as our research team, Zian and Cristal, and our editing team, Patricia and Chess, this has been Group 1.